welcome to Funtastic Friday. We're in the segment at this time, Talk the Ting with Kim. All right, welcome to everybody from Instagram Live at Funtastic 93 FM. Welcome to those of you listening on the radio, News Talk 93 FM, and online at newstalk93fm.net. By the way, people, you know you're locked in the segment called Talk the Ting with Kim, and our discussion topic for today, we're looking at public displays of affection, aka PDA, and hickeys. How much is too much? How much is too much? Now, public displays of affection, first thing first, we have to, we have to give you a definition for what we're talking about when we talk about public displays of affection. All right? So we're talking about, what would you say now? We're talking about
the visual signs of intimacy.
Yeah, we're talking about the visual signs of intimacy. We're talking about these things that people can know say when they're in a things, right? So, while they are often seen as an expression of love or attraction, the appropriateness of these acts depends greatly on context, intensity, and the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're not saying never. Are we saying never? PDA never?
No.
We're not saying never. We're saying one, know the context.
Yeah.
What level is expected in this type of context?
And
Two,
the audience. I think the audience is very important.
intensity.
And
Are you going over the top? Are you
Yeah.
And the audience, as Adenike says, very important. Who are you showing this PDA for? Or do we have kids in the mix? Is this an office setting? Is it church? What, right? So, these things have to be taken into consideration, especially in shared or professional environments. What is considered sweet by some may be uncomfortable or inappropriate to others. So, this topic here discusses the different types of intensities of PDA and how they are perceived in public and workplace setting, and the importance of maintaining respectful boundaries. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So, people,
Yeah.
let's dive into the topic of PDA. So, we asked before, what are your views? Are you for PDA? Have you ever done PDA? A little kiss in public, a little chups? Can your face make up? Why your face make up? All and in public, hug your boo.
We don't have no boo, sir.
You have never had any. Why ladies stay so? You never had any boo in your lifetime? You must have one
You
boo.
did have one boo.
Exactly. I'll never hug in public.
Hugging fine.
Kiss?
No.
Oh, just hug.
Mm-hmm.
And hold and probably.
Probably.
She said we're not so sure-ish about the whole hand thing. But maybe we'll and book up together and we'll just make it stay there. Oh, jeez. No, sir. We're serious with it. All right. I see some comments coming on the Instagram Live. Kellyanne has been dropping some comments there. Let me take a quick look. But it's a very interesting topic. And what I want to establish is what we call PDA, public displays of affection. I'm going to give you some examples. And we're going to look at each of them and see where we fall. And this comes into play from the news article that we read earlier, where it was said that the House clerk threatens to immediately send home Parliament staff who turn up to work with love bites, aka Hickey. All right. Kellyanne says this is good for them. No one wants to know what happened to them last night.
Exactly. That kind of nasty. That nasty.
Ah, jeez. I would have said nasty. But I'm just saying, come on. I would say very unnecessary. But let's look at the levels of PDA, and then we'll look at the different expectations. So we have low intensity PDA. We're talking about level 1. We're talking about low. This include holding hands and brief touches. But we're talking now probably a brush on the shoulder, or you probably hold them by them chin. Them look at things like, look at your boy, you just go, oh, you're so cute. Right? What is wrong with you? What was wrong there?
No, you.
So you don't get them something there? You don't go answer with your boo?
Let them tell them about boo.
You had one at some point. Stop going so. So your boo never cute no time.
Maybe when we did like him at the time.
Oh, so not cute again. Listen here. Anyway, we're going to focus by the time because Adenike's story sounds like it's going on one different segment. But People, listen to me. These are what we call low level or low intensity PDA. Holding hand and brief touches. So let us know your views for these. Are you like, yeah, this is okay? And where is it
I
okay?
feel like that's okay.
Yeah?
That's okay.
That can go, and that's generally accepted?
Yes. If
All right.
we work together, we don't need fear touch each other. We don't reach out, we don't do that.
What you mean touch? That's so extra when you say touch. When you double up the something, it's so extra.
I don't need to touch each other, but
Yeah.
it's work.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Time and place.
That's okay. So simple gestures like hand holding, walking arm in arm, or a light touch on the shoulder are generally viewed as mild or low level PDA. These actions are widely accepted in public and may even go unnoticed. So people, they don't really put too much of a spotlight on themselves when they do these things. Because these things are low level, very mild, very simple. You know what I'm saying? So in a workplace setting, however, even these gestures can be interpreted as favoritism or unprofessional conduct if they occur between colleagues or romantic partners. You see it though?
Yeah.
So you're outside of the workplace, it's
that's
not so
fine.
crazy. You're in the general public, you can hold your hand, you can walk together.
We can giggle and laugh off in
Exactly, that is fine.
Mm-hmm.
At the workplace now, however,
Time and place, auntie.
even this little mild show of affection might not be accepted because
Jenny over our decks and I say,
yeah,
what do them?
I mean, holding hand might not be so crazy, but in a work environment, why do you need to hold hand? We don't have enough holding hand time outside our
Jenny,
work.
I got report to no and say over there, so I laugh and I giggle and nah do no work. Because I remember say Jenny nah no boo, you know. So Jenny go see that now Jenny get bad mind.
Why Adenike so like a she name Jenny? Adenike, use your own name. Use your own name. But I get it. But clearly you're telling us how it is for you, not Jenny. But I understand. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm at work. I don't need to see my co-worker and my get on together. I don't need to see that.
Do the work, nothing though funny.
Yeah. So even though it's like a whole hand, while I look at 1 second, if you don't really, it's, hey, how you doing, baby? And you probably
Which
catch hand
baby?
for a
No,
second.
your name Miss Williams at work and Mr. whatever your name at work. Yeah, that's a name.
You not date nobody at your office.
No.
Okay. Come here and say, you don't look like you can't manage it. Imagine you have your boo. Hi, Mr. Williams. Hi, Miss Williams.
Like, literally.
I'm going to go up and ask, what happened to work today? I can't talk to me, so I can't use my full name.
But know your place.
Well, true. As I said, the workplace is very different. And it's a professional environment. So the hands up, gloves up thing.
That's not necessary.
You have to maintain a professional decorum. And this often requires avoiding even the most innocent forms of physical affection. So nobody come to office that we have blow kiss.
Please.
Sexual harassment that people we call HR prior.
Jenny.
Who is Jenny? And Jenny needs to talk. Jenny
is
we need to get Jenny on the show. Jenny, we need her on the show right now. But I'm telling you, even low intensity hand holding is often not accepted at work either.
And troops. We are troops.
No, we never reach a troop set. So that might be mild, and that's not accepted. Some people might see it and make it slide at 1 or 2 times. But imagine every second you see them a hold and I walk around the office.
One hour go home, One hour go home.
They're not putting in a HR. Can you send home everybody? Everybody got to go when are they ready for them. All right, so we're checking in on the Instagram line. We have WhatsApp 876-792-3530 and Instagram on our Instagram live. Kelly, I say, see why I work. The persons there don't do no work. All right. Some people are just extra. Most of these places where the baby mother is from. Oh, so they said them get them baby mother. Anyway, we then had a mix up, All I'm saying is, even though it might be simple or mild, at the office is a different environment. Leave that to outside.
Work over 5:30 or something like so. No must can wait.
After work hours. Yeah. Not on the compound either.
Man.
Yeah, we don't want it on the compound.
Maybe like a lunchtime.
You hold it on when they exchange the sandwich. We go out and look away, but not during 9 to 5. We don't need to see all of that. Yeah, pass my days at all and
I blow keys after me. Know yourself, uncle.
All right. All right, we we jump to the second level of public displays of affection. We call this one moderate intensity. We call them a medium level. We're talking about hugs and pecks on the cheeks, or as Jamaica would I say, a little chups. All right. So hugging or brief kisses on the cheek or forehead, though still considered moderate in intensity, may definitely draw more attention. What you say? Yeah, no more attention. Yeah. So hugging is a different level.
Even though I feel like hugging kind of, hug.
Exactly. Hugging has a little, it has a little neutral segment. It could be a friend hug.
Yeah.
Is it a friend hug or soon go do some hug? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What is the level? If it's a friend hug, it's not so crazy. But even though for some people it might seem
feel like
strange.
Hugging could I go up a day?
Whole hand section?
Yeah.
No, because you see, especially at work, hugging look totally different at work than a whole hand. Hugging look big. Exactly. Yeah.
Why?
Exactly.
Tell me, man,
exactly.
So me no forget out.
That's why I have it in our second section. So hugging is basically close to a chups, very close to a chups. So it's not like a whole hand hug when you stay from half a tree and she the crossroads I hug her. We're talking about close space because you're invading the person's personal place. So that is a different level. So when we're talking about hugging and kiss and a chups, right? These now, when they are in a personal or casual social setting, they can cross professional boundaries, especially if repeated or prolonged. Get what I'm trying to people? So if it's a quick hug or a quick chups, people might not even see it. So it might not really, right? No, I'm just saying like it's not a big attention grabber. So while it's more attention than a whole hand, it's still quick. It's not a long-term thing. But when these things drag on, yeah, the 10, 3, 5 chups. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? When you start hugging for 3, 5, 10 seconds, what is happening there? So the more time these are given or the more times it is repeated, especially in the workplace, such behavior might lead to discomfort, gossip, or accusation of impropriety, particularly in the hierarchical relationship. So, example, boss and subordinate. Yeah. Imagine boss, everybody get shaken as Adenike say, and boss just got this one little lady hug.
She hug. You know,
and then it's not a little 1 second hug, it's a 3, 5 second hug.
What's happening there?
Everybody's gonna ask what's happening.
Everybody can't get a hug too.
You will mix up.
Yeah.
A hug you want to.
Yeah. After me, she no more than me.
But after the show. Hug she want. Adenike, what I tell you, what I do wear shirt say hug me. I see what go on, can I tell you. Adenike say she want hug.
I don't mean that I could be doing that anybody. But me just want what's so special about
exactly. What only in a
behind closed door, not at work.
Well, we don't really want that, but not at work. Because we want to know what is the work relationship, what is necessary for.
That's not necessary.
Exactly.
Tell our man and go and buy your business run on your deck, sir.
Exactly. Why should I get special treatment like that? So these are things that draw people attention, right? And definitely will cause more of a commotion when we talk about PDA, public display of affection. And we're gonna go to the level that we're talking about earlier. We're going to talk about the level 3, which is high intensity PDA. We're talking about kissing on the lips and cuddling. Yeah, now hug up and rub up. Cuddling are the two. Hug up and rub up. Not just hug up and rub up. You have to double it up. Alright, so kissing on the lips or physical cuddling can be seen as romantic or intimate and is often reserved for private spaces.
I want that.
Private spaces, are they? So are you one of those persons who, let's say, you're giving a kiss on the lips in Burger King?
Definitely not.
No? KFC, Mothers?
No. I couldn't taste
What about a fancy restaurant then?
Maybe you kiss me on my hand like a gentleman.
Okay, like a fancy kiss.
Yeah.
Okay, no coming over my side at the table and
over your table and hold my hand and give me a kiss on the hand.
But Adenike serious too.
Very serious.
Probably. Suppose your boo a come cross though.
My boo know I say him not for them foolishness there. Him know that.
And then you can say if did the meeting them. So him know the come road come to the
Him know
foolishness.
that.
What would you do? You do? You stop him?
Yes.
You know what? You leave him at the restaurant or just start about this later.
No, I'm like relax.
Relax.
Me I give my hand for sure.
Oh, yes, all this. This is where you're at, sir.
Yeah,
on the road.
because obviously my hand in one.
I thought young people were more expressive. Or you're in a very small group. What you say? What would you say?
Me different than the rest of the girls.
So the rest of them are more open. What you see? What you give me your view as a cause you're a college student, you know, even though you're a college graduate.
Sitting
On the campus or around the campus or whatever. You see a lot of public display of affection?
No.
Not really. No, it's
when
not.
I live on campus, I'm like I'm class.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you're walking. Remember, it's a public display. You know, go look for it.
Maybe
You know, you're walking.
two people sit
Probably
down.
one and two, but it's not a big.
Yeah.
It's not a regular train. Okay, all right. That's what I want to understand because I don't know what's happening on the campus like that nowadays. So I want to see if you know. Cause you know them movie there when you watch a movie them. This is when I kiss this or that, and I'm big like the high school and them something there. This is when I see them in a lap and them something there.
Is like them talking. You can see them they like
Yeah, together.
hand plays.
Yeah. But nothing too
crazy, nothing too drastic.
okay. So no major when they don't partake in the high intensity kissing and cuddling as
I've never
much.
seen that.
Not
I'm not gonna say it not happen, but
Right.
I've never
it's
seen
not a popular trend. All right. So when we talk about the workplace now for this level now, in the workplace,
we definitely want to get fired.
send them home.
What you know, cuddling, kissing.
For the people at work time.
Who do not have yard? This come like primary school relationship when only school time you see the people.
True, when they go up, they don't know it.
What you mean? And understand yourself. But you kissing and cuddling at the people them place of work, go do your work, uncle do your work.
So I'm the auntie.
I feel like you see if uncle
one
never
person
did it.
no, one aunt can't clap.
Uncle and auntie do no work.
Exactly. There you go. Can't blame the man them alone. Suppose a lady come cross and I pressure him, you know, as a man.
One of the have self-control, do no work. Matter of fact, why the two are not work at the same place?
We talked about that earlier this year. Romance in the workplace.
We're not tired of each other.
No, you see, that is sometimes. Anyway, go back to our video and check out what we discuss when it comes to romance in the workplace. Alright, so you see now, people, when we talk about this level at the workplace, it's generally unaccepted and may be subject to disciplinary action under company conduct policies as it undermines professional boundaries and can lead to claims of unprofessionalism or harassment. You see my try to show you?
Yeah.
This is a no for the workplace. We're not hug up and kiss up and what all of that for? When you work, unless when you work at taboo or somewhere. hey. Da-da-dee. Anyway, and that might not be acceptable at that workplace either. Anyway, that's a whole different settings. Alright, people, we look into point number 4, level number 4. Level number 4. This now is high intensity, very high intensity public displays of affection. So we're talking about groping and straddling. Straddling means that one person is on top of the other person. That's how it got to a whole different ball game. Touching and all these things.
This are in our public?
Yes, this happens. People do this in public.
You see that?
I haven't really seen it, especially in Jamaica. I think Jamaica is not really a big public display of affection country. I don't think we are big on it. What I might find is you have a few loud people who might do these things often, like a big kiss and them something there, and you come here, baby, and you know, the big open mouth kiss and all them something there, and you have a few people that might do that. But otherwise from that, I don't really see Jamaica as a big, you know, public display of affection. Everywhere you look, you see people are hold hand and people are hug up and people are kiss up. I don't really see that. I think we are mostly private people. And I think you sent a video in the group that explains part of that, why most of us don't partake in the public display of affection, because probably I'm not for them person. Probably I borrow the person. So you can't too load it up in the streets. No, but it's true. It's true. I see Kelly dropping some points as well. But I don't think Jamaica. I think US is crazy with it. US is people
Yes, if
sit
I'm
up
a
on
past
people.
certain level,
Yeah.
you figure jail go spend 2 hours.
For
Got
PDA?
something wrong with you. Yeah, but you mean by straddling? What is wrong with you? Them not make a house on them place there again.
The person Kelly says, boy, that person that put out the statement from Parliament, they mustn't have no husband or no man. Come on, it's not about whether they have man
No,
or
but I
person.
feel like
I
it's a
don't need-
respect thing.
Exactly, it's a risk. You can't.
Yeah, disrespect yourself, that's one. Yeah, disrespect Parliament, that's two, because you said that you work at a dolly house.
Not only that's definitely part of it. And what I would say as well, I think like we know Hickey is something. It's like a sign
Yeah,
of a sexual activity.
everybody know what you did.
We know how it
We know
comes.
what took place last night.
So-
and you want us to know too,
Exactly.
that
So
this
what
is-
I would say is, I think a displayed Hickey, we will get to there now. It's coming up. We're gonna go to that section after the break. But I want to drop this point before the break, and we're gonna take it up after the break when we get there. I think a Hickey
Mhm.
is a sign of what should be covered up,
For
right?
me, I hickey, you know, when dog a leave them mark, I sure say nobody enough will come here, so
Mhm.
that is a hickey to me.
Right? So people see that as a sign, and that's why somebody wear it proudly to say, I am taken.
Cover that up.
But what I want to
You're
say
not a light pole.
is like a Hickey is a sign of something that took place. So that I think is the equivalent of, for example, a lady walk, you know, those lady that dress and walk and they show you the tongue string coming up at the back, around at the back. I think the Hickey on the neck is equivalent of walking with the tongue showing at the back or the side. Because why we need to see that?
That I give me light post, right? There are light post.
What's the light
Because
post?
I light post dog people fan signal say no other dog not to come people from light post. So I get light post energy.
Wow, I've never heard that. I first I hear that expressed like that. I know what you're saying, but I've never heard it expressed like that. So you're
It's like give me light post energy, sidewalk vibes.
Wow. But definitely that's what I think. I think you're exposing yourself. You're showing something that we shouldn't be seeing. We're not saying don't do it. We don't say we don't wear a thong. But we don't need to see the string them come up on the back. We don't need to see the IKEA people out of the blouse. You know what I'm saying? If it's on your chest, we're covered by the shirt, yeah, you don't have to worry. We're not see it. But why is it being exposed? Why are you showing your under activities? You know what I'm saying?
I don't love that for the dollies.
Yeah, we don't like that for the dollies or the aunties and the uncles. Fiona, I want you to hear your views. What are your views on public displays of affection in general? And those such as hickeys. What are your views on that in general? And then what are your views about those activities in the workplace? Can I be coming to my workplace with 2, 3 hickey, one round on my back, one round on my shoulder, or so that's visible to others? What are your views? All right, so we're going to go to the break in a few. But let me just wrap up this point as I talk about the very high intensity of public displays of affection. So we're talking about, as I said, the groping and the straddling, touching someone's bodies in a sexual suggestive manner or sitting on your partner's lap in public is often viewed as overt and inappropriate regardless of the environment. So I say, you look sit on the lap in public. You know, Jamaicans, we accept that. Because in a taxi, you sit on that somebody lap and them something, you get the lady sit down on the man lap. And we don't really mind that much, especially when it's like the sideways sitting on a lap and them something. But when you go swing around foot on the person and face to face in a lap, that's a whole different look.
You figure jail or spend 2 hours.
Jail?
Yeah, because you're disgusting. You're disgusting for that. You actually disgusting.
Project Kimmie, Adenike, what are they? Where is it? Go jail for 2 hours?
Them for got jail for 2 hours for that. You're disgusting.
Alright, first thing first, you know, say by the time they go jail, for the police officer them do the paperwork outside them, you know, say 2 hours.
Yeah. So you not do it again. Got your yard.
Wow.
Actually.
As I say, people, these can be viewed as inappropriate regardless of the environment. These displays not only draw attention but can also make others feel uncomfortable and disrespectful. And disrespected. In a workplace environment,
Not support. The workplace not even supposed to come in at this level of PDA. What you mean by? You don't have a job.
Well, it says these are classified as sexual misconduct or harassment with serious legal and reputational
That's
consequences. You can, as Adenike say, you have a chance to lose the work. Because
Yeah,
why are
you
you
not
sitting
no
on top of the
work.
person in the
You
workplace?
don't have no work.
You don't have no work to do.
No,
Clearly
like
you need
you
to go
don't have
home.
no job. You're fired.
You are fired. You're too hot for the work. You're fired.
Yeah,
But true.
because what?
Yeah. We come here for work. When me I come around the lunchroom and see you sit
Lock
down,
up in,
sit down
lock
in a
up,
Mr. Man lap.
wrapped up, tied up, and tangled up.
Oh my
you
gosh.
know?
With that said, we're going to wrap up and we're going to go to the break. When we return, we get to the second half of the conversation where we dive into Hickeys. Yeah, because I'm going to get more into Hickeys because Hickeys is a little iffy because we want to find out why and when and where and how. But we're going to look at that in a few. People were looking on the topic, public displays of affection and Hickeys, and we're trying to figure out how much is too much. All right, we'll be back after the break. Fantastic Friday here on News Talk 93 FM.